Good morning. I thought I'd do a quick little video this morning. Yesterday, I got my copy of Black Sabbath Paranoid and my MoFi Van Halen Women and Children First, and I just thought I'd give a few comments. This is the Black Sabbath Rhino Hi-Fi number 2469. Gatefold. It doesn't have the management credits here like the Vertigo first pressing does. Very clean. The corners came out clean. The label is the standard Rhino. They're reinventing their own labels. I wish they would pay an homage to original ones, but they don't. I quickly played a few of the tracks on side one. War Pigs sounds really good. I was impressed. I was happy. I was excited. But then when we got to Paranoid, I'm not an audiophile. I don't like using those audiophile words. Although I collect multiple pressings, it's usually for the historical value. I want the first US stock. I want the first US white label promo. I want the first Vertigo. I want the second Vertigo. I collect for that reason, not because the Vertigo sounds the best, even though I end up playing the Vertigo most of the time. But back to Paranoid, right away I noticed that the drums were, it was like a thud, and the bass was a thud. I guess there was no slam. When you listen to like any of the Zeppelin classic records and you hear the cymbal or you hear the bass drum or the kick drum, you really can feel it. You can kind of tell where it is. You couldn't. It was all muffled. I couldn't even hear a snare. I could hear a snare, but it was like a thud. I don't know how you describe it. So now I got to go back to the Vertigo and the US first just to hear those parts because something's different. It just sounded off. But War Pigs was great. This is the only two tracks that I played. And then yesterday I also got in Van Halen's Women and Children First. I've been waiting for this for a while. Van Halen was one of my favorite bands in junior high. And high school, it was my older brother's favorite band his entire life. And up until this day, I have them all. I'm very curious to hear this album in 45 RPM. This is number 142 of 7500. I also have the SACD. I have not played this yet. I'll do that tonight, and I'll probably pull out my US OG of this. But that's it. I'm not going to do a shootout of this, but I know Jason Rojas or PB Thal will. I'm curious to see their findings. Something's up with the bass and Paranoid. Maybe I'm crazy. I need to go back and listen. If you don't have a copy, this is probably a good one to get. That's it. Thanks.